Okay, guys, I apologize that I'm not in class today. I had to take care of some family business. But I'm doing this video to help you through the assignment because you are going to turn it into the sub before you leave, and I am going to grade it. I want to see what you know. We'll be giving partial credit. Each blank basically is going to be checked, and I'm giving you some hints to the problems. So on this video explanation, I'm going to do at least one of each type. And maybe give you some hints to the ones that I'm not going to work out, that I want to check to see your understanding when you work them out on your own. So um, the first thing, make sure you identify the base. You can do that by highlighting it or shading it, but our base for this shape here, not a great highlighting here, but it is a triangle, so we have a triangular prism for this problem. And so, excuse me. So you name any prism or pyramid by the shape of the base. So this is a triangular prism. Excuse me. And I have a hint here because when we find our base, since our base is the right triangle, we need to know the parts of that right triangle. So we need to know, basically we need to know the legs, which is 8 and 15, which I know that's not to scale. And we also need to know the hypotenuse, because after finding the B, we're going to have to find the perimeter. Now, in order to get to this perimeter and get to the B, to get to our lateral area, excuse me, we're going to have to use Pythagorean Theorem to find our missing side here, which is our C. So I can, let me make some room here. I can do A squared plus B squared equals C squared. I want to plug in each part. Our legs are what we have, the A and the B. So this is 8 squared plus 15 squared equals C squared. 64 and 225 equals C squared. That gives me 289 equals C squared. But then you have to take the square root of that. All right, so I'm just going to put it over here. RC is 17. When I take the square root of 289 is 17. So that means the hypotenuse is 17. Now, to find the area of our base, and let me scroll this down a little bit. To find the area of our base, since we have a triangle, and our triangle was the 8 by 15, I know this is not to scale, but we're going to do base times height divided by 2, which is basically going to be our 8 times our 15 divided by 2, which would give me an area of 60 meters squared. Now, for the lateral area, we're going to do our formula, which is perimeter times the height. Now, we found the hypotenuse because in order for me to find the perimeter, I have to add up my sides. And so, basically, I'm doing my 8 plus 15 plus 17, which gives me a perimeter of 40 meters. So now I'm just going to substitute that back in. I'm now going to say 40 meters, which was my perimeter, times the height of the prism. The height of the prism is the distance between the two bases. So if you look, I'm kind of trying to highlight between the two triangles is the 8, and that's the height of the prism. So we're going to do 40 times 8, which gives me 320 meters squared. Now to do the total surface area, we're going to have to, and I'm going to extend this a little bit, take that lateral area plus the two bases. Alright, so now I'm just going to substitute the parts. We have the 320, which is our lateral area, times 2 times our base, which was 60. So basically 320 plus the 120 would give me a total surface area of 440 meters squared. Alright, so I just did number 1. Number 2 is similar to number 1 because, again, you are going to have a triangular prism. And you're going to have to use Pythagorean Theorem again because this is going to be 6. And so you're trying to find this little side over there, A. So you're still going to have to do Pythagorean Theorem and kind of work backwards to find your A. And then following the same steps, find the area of the base, the lateral area, and the area of the total surface area. Now, on number 3, same premise, same type of problem. Again, our base is the triangle. Okay. So I have the base and the height of the triangle, or the legs of the triangle. So again, you're going to need to use Pythagorean Theorem. So you find the missing side. You're going to need to find this side here. Since our base is a right triangle, and we have the 20 and the 15, we're still doing base times height divided by 2. So like 20 times 15 divided by 2. So we get 1,500 meters square. Wait, not 1,500, sorry, 150 meters square. Sorry about that. And now we're going to, basically you're going to follow the next same steps, which is the lateral area and the total surface area. So that's on the other page, because here they want the lateral area. The lateral area is the perimeter times the height. This is why I asked you to find in your triangle this height. I asked you to find the C using Pythagorean Theorem. Okay. You should hopefully, if you work it out, and I'll give you some time to do that if you want to pause the video and try that, you should get C equals 25. So that now lets me find my perimeter by doing 20 plus the 15 plus the 25. If I add all the 3 sides up, we get 60 meters square. So make sure that you're plugging in your parts correctly, because now we got our perimeter. We should know that the height is the distance between the triangles. So since our base, between the bases, our bases are a triangle, then I'm hoping that you see that the height is that distance, which is the 25. Okay. So go ahead and plug in your parts. Check the partial key if you want to. Hopefully, if you work this out, you should get 1,500 meters square here. And for the total surface area, that is taking the lateral area plus the base. If you work that out, you should get 1,800 meters square. Make sure you show your work. No work, no credit. Make sure you show your formulas as well. All right, so the next one you have at the bottom of your page is a rectangular prism. Rectangular prism. And the good thing about this one is the base is already kind of shaded for you. So to find the base, which your base is the rectangle, even though it kind of looks like the square, you're going to do base times height of that rectangle, which is just 3 times 2, which gives you 6 units square. Okay. Now, to find our lateral area, same formula, take the perimeter of the base times the height. So you need to find the perimeter of your base. You can do that perimeter of the base by just adding up your sides, 3 plus 2, 3 plus 2. So we should get that the perimeter is 10. Excuse me. So to find our lateral area, we're going to substitute that 10 for the perimeter times the height. The height is the distance between the bases, so I'm hoping you see that distance between the 2 rectangles is the 10. So that is 100 unit square. And then to do the total surface area, basically again, take your lateral area, add your two bases to that lateral area. So we have the 100 plus 2 times the 6, which is 12, so we get 112 units squared. So on the one you're going to do on your own, you will need to make sure you identify the base. I would use the rectangle here at the bottom, which is the 5 by 8. So start with that base, find the area of that base, find the perimeter of that base, and then start plugging in the parts. Now, I want to talk about 9 and 11 especially because for some reason, some students have a difficult seeing what the base is for this prism. It's the two congruent parts. I probably didn't stress that earlier, but the two congruent polygons. And the two congruent polygons that we have are the trapezoid here. So this trapezoid is the base here. So I'm hoping you can see that this is why the name of this shape is the trapezoidal prism. And since B is the trapezoid, well, I'm going to just draw what we have. The trapezoid that we have here has markings on it. I'm just going to revert it or invert it and redraw it and label it. So I'm hoping you see that the bases that we have for the trapezoid are 3 and 6, and then the legs also are 3 and 3, and then your height of your trapezoid, the distance that's perpendicular, that is the 2.6. So to find the area of the trapezoid, your formula is base 1 plus base 2 times the height divided by 2. Well, our bases are 3 and 6, so 3 plus 6. The height of the trapezoid is the 2.6, then divided by 2. Basically, we're going to have 9 times 2.6 divided by 2. And you're going to get a decimal answer, and you need to do not round because it just terminates. You should get 11.7 squared. So, now that I have that, to get the lateral area, same formula, the perimeter of the base, the trapezoid, times the height. Well, I can figure out the perimeter of my trapezoid by adding up my sides, which are 3, 3, 3, and 6. So the perimeter of the trapezoid comes up to be, what is that? 9 and 6, so that's 15 times the height of the prism. The height of the prism is the distance between the bases. So right here, the distance between the bases is 8. So we have our 15 times 8. And that will give you your lateral area. So hopefully, if you use your calculator, you can use some mental math, you get 120 all square. And then to do our total surface area, we're just taking that lateral area plus the two bases. So we're taking that 120 plus 2 times 11.7. 11.7. And we'll get a decimal answer again, which is 143.4. Now, if for some reason, as you're watching this video, if anything goes too fast, please take the moment to just kind of go back, replay it, because you are going to be expected to do a trapezoid, which is number 10. And to help you recognize the base, make sure that you are using the two congruent trapezoids. And if you want to kind of just redraw that and label it, my drawing is not to scale obviously, But hopefully you see we got a 4, we have an 8. Excuse me, the height is the 4.6. And then we have 5, and 5 are the legs of the trapezoid. So that's just a little clue to get you going. And then the last two I want to talk about is number 11, which is, if you look at the shape of the base that we have here, it is a hexagon. So we have a hexagonal prism. To find the area of the base, you're going to use the formula 1/2 the apothem times the perimeter. What they have given you, what they're pointing here, this 5.2 is your apothem. The perimeter, since we have 6 sides and each side is 6, the perimeter is 36. So I'm just going to plug this in. 1/2 of my 5.2, times the 36. And you are going to get a decimal answer. You should hopefully get, I'll give you time, 93.6, and it's inches squared. I'm hoping you can see that. 93.6 inches squared. Alright, so now we're going to do the lateral area. So that's the perimeter of the base times the height of the prism. I'm hoping you see that the height of the prism is the distance between the two hexagons, which is that 7. So we're going to take that 36, which is our perimeter of the base, times it by the 7, and we would get the lateral area to be 252 inches squared. And then for our total surface area, same formula, lateral area plus the two bases. So we already know the lateral area is the 252. Our two bases is going to be 2 times the 93.6. And so our total surface area is 439.2 inches squared. Okay. All right, and then we've discussed cylinders. I think these are probably more of our easier ones. This, like I already said, it is a cylinder. They have a different formula than what we did. The base is always a circle for a cylinder. So you're going to do pi r squared. So our radius, this right here is the diameter. The radius is half of that. So the radius is 20. So you're going to do pi times 20 squared, and you're going to keep your answer in terms of pi, meaning leave pi in your answer. So we should get 400 pi. That's centimeter squared. Now to find the lateral area, we have a different formula here. Similar to a prism, perimeter times the height. Well, the perimeter of a cylinder is the circumference. Circumference is 2 pi r times the height, that's your h. So if you just plug in our circumference, well, our circumference is basically 40 pi times the height is the 75. So we are going to get a total of 3,000 pi centimeter squared. No, I'm running out of room here. And then for the total surface area, the formula on your formula chart is 2 pi RH plus 2 pi r squared. So basically, the 2 pi r squared is the radius of the area of the bases. You double it since there are 2. So we got the lateral area, that's 3,000 pi plus 2 times 400 pi, which is going to give me 3,800 pi centimeters squared. Okay? Alright, so that's pretty much it. That's all I'm going to do. That's more than half. I know you have some problem solving to do with surface area when I give you the net. You do not have to use just the formula. You can look at it as finding the area of each shape. So my clue to you is like this little rectangle here. That's a 3.5 by 2. So that would have 7 centimeters squared. And then I'm hoping you see that, and I'll try to highlight it. This 4, if I line it up, if I was to fold it up, it would line up with over here. So that lets me know that that's 4 as well. And so basically we have a 4 by 2 here, and then inside of here, this would be a 4 by 3.5. So find your area of each face and find the total surface area by just adding them up. Same thing with here. You have the square. You could find the area of that. I know you can calculate that. And then you also have the triangle. Right? The triangle would be base times height divided by 2. The 5 is your base. Your height right here is that 4. So you could find the area of each shape, add it up to find your total area. So make sure you get this done. You are going to turn it in. I've given that instruction to the sub to make sure they collect your work. I am going to grade it. I will address things that did not get done on an individual class basis. And please be on the best of your behavior. And I will see you on Monday. Have a great weekend. Bye.